This phase has been really focused on, do we see the same environmental benefits from the winter wheat as we see in the cereal rye? We're really starting to look at ways that producers can see some kind of cash return from that winter season, but also at the same time get the benefits that cover crops provide to us. So with this project, the double cropping wheat project, we plant wheat during the winters before we're going to plant soybeans in the spring. So it's a way we're looking into how can we get that income, some income coming in through that winter period also, and then evaluating, do we get the same types of benefits from the wheat that we get from the cereal rye? So we are tracking right now, we're tracking things like methane or various gas emissions from those systems that include the wheat in their rotation. We are tracking the leaching of nitrates and phosphates, through that wheat portion of the rotation. We track the yield that we get from our wheat, and we track various measures of soil health that result from having wheat, in the rotation. We have two grad students. We have Shuan, who is working on the wheat cropping systems. He's doing the leaching study and the greenhouse gas emissions study portion of that. And we share Shuan with Dr. Carly Gage. She's our weed scientist here at SIU. And so while we're looking at that nutrient side of the equation, he's also doing some tracking of weed pressures and things on that weed science side, because obviously farmers are also very interested in how all this affects weed populations and weed pressures, because that's also a part of your overall economic picture, right? So we got Shuan working on that, and then we have Fatima. She's doing soil health work, but she's looking at a couple of our different projects, the winter wheat project being one of those that her soil health work is involved in. So she's looking at measures of soil health within the system when we incorporate winter wheat in. And the big picture, we're hoping to provide income to farmers off of that winter portion, so that winter portion of the rotation, but also maintain the benefits that we've been getting with that we've shown with the research that we do with the cereal rye. And as a part of their dissertations, all of the students have a minimum of 4 chapters planned as a part of the dissertation. Each of those chapters will go out, but also in a lot of these studies, we might have 4 chapters planned. There might be 5 or 6 or even 8 possible papers coming down the road that we can do with that. This phase has been really focused on, do we see the same environmental benefits from the winter wheat as we see in the cereal rye? And we've also got 3 different fertilization regimes that we evaluate as a part of that winter wheat to see, how much fertilizer do we need, because we're trying to also, of course, minimize the reduction in yields of the following crop, especially the corn crop. And so, like with the winter wheat, we have 2 fertilizer regimes where we put down a higher amount and a lower amount, but everything comes in the spring. And the fertilizer in that case is for the corn expressly. And we also have the fertilizer regime where we put some fertilizer, a little bit of nitrogen down in the fall, give that wheat a bit of a boost, and then we follow up with the remainder of the fertilizer in the spring. The fertilizer rate, actually, where we break between spring and fall, if you add them all together, is the same as our higher rate in the spring only application. But we're looking at, can we maybe get a little bit better wheat yield by having a little bit of nitrogen down there on it, and then release that nitrogen back into the corn over the course of the growing season as it needs it through decomposition of the wheat straw there in the field. So right now we're kind of looking agronomically, what are the best things in terms of just basic production, and also the environmental benefits that we're looking for by having that growing crop in the soil during the winter months. I call very agronomic, that we're looking at right now. We need to do, looking forward, I think some future opportunities to continue with the wheat aspect of this. One is to really dig into the economics of it. We'll do some economic analysis, but it's going to be a fairly basic economic analysis on this front, whereas We could get one of our ag econ people involved in a future study where we're really digging into the economic side of the equation. We'll get some information up from the fertilization trials that we're doing, the different rates that we're investigating in this particular study, but we can use that to do some fine tuning and maybe do some more investigation of what's the ideal fertilization scheme for doing a double crop here in Southern Illinois.